We all live in the presence of what we imagine to be an ideal future, and yet, in our fixation on what lies ahead, we often miss the richness, the fullness, the utter magnificence of the present moment. There are many who are consumed with the idea of what they have not yet achieved, of where they are not yet, of what they have not yet experienced. And in this pursuit, they forget the life that is unfolding right in front of them. The truth is, the only life that truly exists is this one, the one happening right now. The future is a mere illusion. It is not a place you arrive at, but a destination made from the thoughts you carry today. If you allow yourself to be entranced by the future, you may find yourself missing the only moment that truly matters, the one you are living right now. Do you understand that the present moment is all there ever is? The future that you chase is a mirage that promises happiness, but it never truly arrives. The only true moment of power is this very second, right now. You are here, breathing, feeling, being, and yet so many of us are looking beyond, yearning for what's next. We race towards some undefined goal, thinking that we will find fulfillment when we reach it, but fulfillment is already available to you in the here and now, if only you open your eyes to it. The ego tells us that we need more achievements, more possessions, more approval, and as we chase these external markers, we forget that the greatest fulfillment lies within. It is not in the future that we will find peace. It is right now in the stillness of our being where we reconnect to the soul, to the divine essence that has always been there. The truth is, you were born into wholeness. The story of your life has always been unfolding, and it will continue to unfold, but only when you stop chasing a future that is perpetually out of reach and begin embracing the beauty of now. I want to remind you of something fundamental. You are not your ego. You are not the achievements you think you need to attain to prove your worth. Your ego will continue to chase after approval, success, recognition, but none of these things can ever define you. When you realize that you are not your ego, you will stop chasing after a future that keeps you bound to the illusion of lack. You will understand that you are already whole. You are already enough. And this understanding will transform your experience of life. Imagine, if you will, for a moment, that you were freed from the need to chase anything. No more measuring yourself against others. No more striving for a future that seems ever elusive. What if, instead of striving, you chose to simply be? You are already everything you seek. It's within you right now. The keys to the kingdom are not hidden in some distant time, but right within your heart in the present moment. When you release the need to chase a future, you align with the truth that you are a divine being, and you stop living in the dream of what could be. You come home to the now, to the space where true peace exists. You see, there is great wisdom in the present. In this moment, your life is already unfolding in the way it is meant to. Every breath, every beat of your heart, every thought and every emotion, it is all part of the divine plan that is woven into the fabric of your soul. The future is a projection of your mind, an image shaped by your desires, your fears, your fantasies, but it is not real. The real power, the real magic is in your willingness to be present, to surrender the past, to release the future, and to live in this moment with full awareness. In every moment, the soul whispers to you. The soul does not reside in the future. It is not concerned with what will be, because it knows the deep truth that it is eternal, unchanging, and free. The soul knows that you are not defined by the conditions of your life. You are not limited by your circumstances. The soul speaks in stillness, in presence. It does not demand, it does not chase. It is already whole, already complete, and it invites you to remember this truth. So, I ask you, what is it that you are chasing? What future are you running toward? And when you get there, when you finally reach that elusive destination, will you truly find what you are looking for? Or will you find, as so many before you have, that the future is always moving just out of reach, and by the time you arrive, it will already be yesterday. The future, my friend, is an illusion. It is always tomorrow, never now. In your life, what if you chose to stop chasing and began to simply live? What if you allowed yourself the grace to rest in the present moment? The moment you stop striving, the moment you stop trying to outrun yourself, is the moment you begin to truly live. Life is not a race. It is not a series of milestones you must reach to be worthy. Life is an unfolding journey, and every moment you miss chasing a distant future is a moment you will never get back. You are the author of your life, and you do not need to wait for the perfect future to write your story. You can begin right now. The beauty of the present moment is that it is all you ever need. The world is in constant motion, and yet, here you are, standing still in the vast expanse of time with everything you need to experience peace and fulfillment within you. When you realize this, you stop running. You stop chasing. You stop measuring yourself by what you haven't yet achieved. You begin to see that you are already enough, that you are already whole, and that this moment is where life is truly happening. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment to feel at peace. You don't have to wait until you have more success, more love, more recognition. The fullness you seek is already here, in the now. When you embrace the present, you release the burden of waiting for something outside of you to change. The peace you seek is not found in some distant future, but in the quiet acceptance of this very moment. When you stop chasing the future, you are free to live your life fully. The soul is not concerned with tomorrow. It is concerned only with this moment, this breath, this step. And so, my friend, I invite you to join the soul in this dance of life. Be present. Stop waiting. Stop chasing. The future will come, but it will come on its own terms. It will unfold in its own time, and when it does, you will be ready, not because you spent your days chasing it, but because you spent your days living fully in the now. You are not defined by what you have or have not achieved. You are defined by your capacity to be present, to be whole, to be at peace, and in this peace, all things are possible. When you stop chasing a future, you align with the divine flow of life, and you begin to experience the miracles of the present moment. The future is not a place you get to. It is a series of moments strung together, and every moment you live is a gift. Don't miss your life chasing a future that has not yet arrived. Live now. And in that living, you will discover that you are everything you have ever sought. In this life, the only certainty is the present. And so, my friend, I leave you with this truth. Do not chase a future that will never be. Live in the now. Embrace the fullness of the present. For in doing so, you will discover that you are already enough, that you are already whole, and that you are already living the life you have been seeking all along. Let go, be here, be now. As you breathe, you begin to understand the simplicity of the truth. Life is not something you have to force. It is something you flow with. In the dance between your breath and the beating of your heart, there is a harmony that transcends the chaos of the world. It is in the silence between your thoughts, in the stillness between your movements, that you find the deepest connection to your soul. You see, you are not meant to fight life, you are meant to align with it. The more you fight, the more you separate yourself from the peace that is your birthright. But when you release the need to control, the struggle ceases, and the universe begins to work with you, not against you. In this moment of surrender, you start to feel a shift, a subtle yet profound shift. You begin to see yourself not as an individual fighting against the tides, but as an integral part of the vast ocean. The waves come and go, but the ocean remains, unshaken, ever-present, eternal. You are that ocean. The waves of life, joy, pain, success, failure are simply passing moments. They do not define you. What defines you is the essence of your being, the stillness that remains when everything else fades away. Now, let us be clear. This is not to say that life will become easy. The ebb and flow will continue. The challenges will arise. The storm clouds will gather. But when you are aligned with your truth, when you are grounded in the stillness that resides deep within you, nothing can disturb your peace. You will find that even in the midst of the storm, you can remain calm. You will find that the world may spin, but you are anchored. And in this anchoring, there is a wisdom that begins to awaken within you. It is the wisdom of the soul ancient, timeless, and always present. The wisdom that tells you that you are not your circumstances, you are the observer of your circumstances. You are the space in which everything occurs, and in this space there is infinite potential for creation. It is not in the effort that you find your power, but in the surrender. It is in the letting go of the need to control that you discover your true strength. The strength of the soul is not the strength to manipulate or force things into being. It is the strength to trust, to allow, to flow with the current of life. And when you do this, when you release the need to hold on, you will discover that everything you have been searching for has always been here inside of you. You see, the journey is not about becoming something you are not. It is about unbecoming everything that you are not. It is about stripping away the layers of conditioning, the layers of fear, the layers of self-doubt that have been placed upon you by others, by society, and by your own mind. These layers obscure the truth of who you are. But when you release them, when you breathe and let them go, you uncover the radiant being that you have always been. This is the power of realignment. It is the power of returning to your true self. The self that was never broken, never lost, never lacking. You have always been whole. You have always been complete. And as you let go of the past, you make room for the future to unfold, not as a series of random events, but as a deliberate expression of your soul's purpose. So, what happens when you realign? The answer is simple. You begin to see the world differently. You begin to see that every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Every person that enters your life, no matter how they appear, is a reflection of your own inner state. You begin to realize that everything that happens for you, not to you. And with this realization comes a deep sense of peace, for you understand that you are not a victim of life, but a co-creator. And this is the most empowering truth you will ever come to know. You have the power to create your reality. It is not your circumstances that shape you, but the way you respond to them. When you breathe deeply, when you release the old stories, when you realign with your soul, you open yourself up to the infinite possibilities that are available to you. You become the creator of your experience. You begin to live with purpose, with intention, and with a sense of divine direction. But this requires trust. Trust that the universe knows what you need before you even ask. Trust that everything is unfolding perfectly, even when it doesn't look the way you think it should. Trust that every experience, no matter how challenging, is part of your soul's evolution. And when you trust, you stop resisting. You stop pushing against the current. You stop trying to force life into a mold that is not meant for you. And in that space of trust, you allow life to move you, guide you, and shape you into the highest expression of yourself. Breathe, release, realign. In this simple practice lies the key to your transformation. It is not complicated. It is not something that requires years of study or self-improvement. It is simply a choice. A choice to let go of the illusions that you are not enough, that you are not worthy, that you are not deserving of all the good that life has to offer. It is a choice to align with the truth that you are already whole, already abundant, already free. And as you make that choice, you begin to live in a way that reflects the infinite love and power that resides within you. This is the gift that life offers you in every moment, the gift of choice. The choice to breathe deeply, to release what no longer serves you, and to realign with the truth of who you are. The choice to trust in the flow of life, to let go of the need for control, and to surrender to the wisdom of the soul. And as you do this, you will find that life becomes easier, more fulfilling, more joyful, and more aligned with your highest purpose. So, my friend, I invite you to take a deep breath with me now, to feel the life force that flows through you, to release all the doubts, all the fears, all the burdens that you've been carrying, to realign with your soul, with your true self. And as you do, know that you are not alone. The entire universe is supporting you. You are loved, you are enough, you are free. Breathe, release, realign, and know that you are exactly where you need to be. There comes a sacred turning point, quiet, unannounced, when you no longer crave escape because you have found sanctuary in your own presence. Not because life has become less demanding, but because your relationship to it is transformed. You begin to realize that peace is not the absence of pressure, it is the presence of clarity within it. And this clarity is born not from answers, but from stillness. A stillness so honest that it silences all false narratives with one whisper of truth. You were never lost, you were only distracted from the center. In this rediscovery, you feel a different kind of strength. Take root not the kind that battles for survival, but the kind that blooms in surrender. Not the might that shouts, but the power that listens. You begin to trust the pauses between decisions, the soft intuition that rises without effort. And with each choice made from this place of inner listening, your life aligns not in some distant future, but right here, beneath your feet. What you once labeled as delays or detours are now seen as sacred recalibrations. The very things you thought were working against you have quietly been rerouting you toward deeper wholeness. There is wisdom hidden in the waiting, in the pauses that used to frustrate you. There is grace in the detours that protect you from destinations too small for your soul. Life you now see has always been more interested in your becoming than your arriving. As you return to this deeper way of being, you no longer seek to fill the silence with noise. The quiet becomes your teacher, revealing that many of your anxieties were born not from reality, but from the mind's habit of forecasting storms that never arrive. You begin to notice the way serenity arises when you stop asking life to match your plans and instead begin listening to what life itself is asking of you. In that listening, a softer rhythm emerges. You no longer wake to a to-do list of worthiness. You rise with reverence. You move not out of obligation, but out of alignment. You speak less to be understood and more to express the integrity of your spirit. Every interaction becomes an opportunity to remain rooted rather than react. Every challenge becomes a portal not to power over anything, but to power within everything. This inner anchoring changes the nature of your presence. Not in some performance of enlightenment, but in the effortless way your calm steadies the atmosphere around you. You become less interested in persuading the world and more committed to embodying truth. Your very existence becomes a quiet invitation. Come sit in your own soul for a while. You are safe here. And the world, without knowing why, begins to breathe easier around you. As you continue to move through life from this deeper alignment, urgency falls away. You no longer measure your worth by milestones or timelines. You know now that the most sacred unfolding cannot be rushed. That becoming is not a race, it's a revelation. And revelation does not arrive by force, but by faith. Faith in the unseen, faith in the whispers, faith in the unfolding architecture of your spirit's expansion. You stop chasing closure and start inviting openness. You stop clinging to outcomes and start honoring the process. You stop bargaining with life and start dancing with it. Because in this state of real union with your truth, you realize there is nothing to win and nothing to prove. There is only the beauty of participating fully, honestly, and consciously in the miracle of being alive. And perhaps the most radical shift of all is this: you begin to forgive yourself. Not just for the mistakes, but for the misunderstanding that you were ever broken to begin with. You no longer carry shame like a shadow. You walk forward in the light of compassion. You understand now that self-forgiveness is not an erasure of responsibility. It is the deepest form of responsibility to heal, to grow, and to stop making yourself smaller than the love that lives inside you. So let this moment be a new kind of vow, not a promise to change everything overnight, but a sacred willingness to stay awake, to be present, to honor the unfolding of your soul's unique rhythm. Let your life become less about what you're trying to fix and more about what you're learning to feel, to love, to witness without judgment. That is where the real alchemy lives. And with every breath that enters your body now, feel this deeper alignment settling in, not as a destination reached, but as a homecoming allowed. There's no need to chase healing. There's only the invitation to stay open to it, to become spacious enough for it to happen through you. Life does not need your perfection. It needs your participation, your willingness to show up with honesty and softness, your courage to walk the path barefoot, one step at a time toward truth. So walk on tenderly, boldly, without the burden of needing to understand everything. Walk not to escape where you are, but to meet more of who you are. And with each breath, with each quiet act of letting go, you will discover the path has been loving you forward all along. And now, as this path of remembrance draws near its quiet close, feel within you the stillness that has always been there like an ancient lake untouched by the winds of time. It does not demand attention. It does not cry out. It simply waits for your return. This stillness is your truth. Not what the world asked you to become, not what fear tried to sculpt, but the eternal presence that has always watched patiently as you wandered, knowing you would one day return not with shame, but with reverence. You do not arrive here empty-handed. You carry sacred lessons written in the ink of experience. You carry softened edges where once there were thorns. You carry an open heart, cracked not by loss, but by awakening. And through those cracks, light has entered, not the kind that blinds, but the kind that reveals, light that does not burn away who you were, but blesses it, honors it, forgives it. You see now, even the detours had holy hands guiding them. Even your wounds had wisdom folded inside. You were never off course. You were never behind. You were simply being unraveled, gently, lovingly, until your soul could fit back into its rightful form. What grace then to see that all along the obstacles were teachers, the delays were sacred pauses, the heartbreaks were doorways. Each one broke something false apart. Each one led you deeper, not into despair, but into depth. Not into despair, but into truth. And what is that truth, really? It is not some grand philosophy. It is something you can feel, even when words fall short. It is the knowing that you are not separate from life, you are life. You are not a drop in the ocean, hoping to be accepted by the tide. You are the tide. You are not here to seek love, you are here to embody it. You are not a fractured soul trying to be repaired. You are a whole presence awakening from a long, forgetful sleep. So breathe with that truth now. Breathe in the peace that comes from no longer needing to chase. Breathe in the relief of no longer needing to perform. Breathe in the beauty of no longer trying to earn what was already yours. Your enoughness, your belonging, your divine place in the tapestry of existence. This is not something you achieve. This is something you allow. Release then, not just what was heavy, but what was hollow. Release the ideas that never truly fit, the beliefs that whispered you were too much or not enough. Release the rush to arrive and honor the sacredness of the unfolding. Release the habit of self-neglect disguised as productivity. Release the mask that smiles when your soul longs to speak. Let it fall. Let it all fall gently, like autumn leaves returning to the earth. And as everything false is laid to rest, you realign not through effort, but through remembrance. You realign by breathing into the space where your soul can finally stretch. You realign by walking your path with less armor and more presence. You realign by choosing grace when the old patterns call you back. You realign by honoring the truth, even when it trembles on your lips. Let this be your new rhythm, not striving, but listening, not forcing, but flowing, not waiting to be chosen, but knowing you are already chosen by life itself. Your existence is not a mistake. It is music, it is medicine, it is movement. And when you live from this place, you do not need to seek purpose, it begins to seek you. In the still corners of the day, may you find yourself softening. In the chaos of the world, may you become the calm. In the mirror, may you meet not a reflection of failure, but the eyes of someone who dared to return. And with each returning breath, may you remember, nothing outside of you holds the key. It is in your inhale, it is in your release, it is in the courage to realign. Again and again. So live gently now, not as someone racing toward healing, but as someone who is no longer hiding from it. Live boldly now, not as someone demanding to be seen, but as someone finally willing to see. Live fully now, not because you've figured it all out, but because you've stopped needing to. And when the world asks who you are, may your very presence answer, I am not who I was. I am not what happened. I am not the echo of my fears. I am the breath returning home. I am the space between the noise. I am the soul. Awaken my own name. Breathe. Release. Realign. And let your life, from this day forward, be the reflection of a soul finally free.